Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the episode of Superintendents Unplugged, In Depth with Davis, the podcast where we'll dive deep into the world of educational leadership. I'm your host, Addison Davis, and I'm thrilled to have you join me as we embark on the inspiring journey together. As a superintendent once myself, I understand the challenges and complexities that come with leading a school district. But what I've come to realize is that there's abundance of amazing work being done by superintendents all across our country. This podcast is a platform to shine a spotlight on their incredible accomplishments and innovative approaches. Each episode will bring you exclusive interviews and superintendents from various districts across our country, both big and small, urban and rural, as they share their personal stories, triumphs, and even their moments of vulnerability. We will explore the strategies they employ to tackle the ever-evolving landscape of education, from fostering equity and inclusivity to embracing technology and preparing students for their future. But this podcast isn't just about showcasing success. It's about fostering a community of educational leaders who can learn from one another, share their experiences, and collectively navigate the complexities of our role. We'll discuss the tough topics as well, the difficult decisions, and the innovative solutions that are transforming education for the better. So while you're an educator, a parent, a student, or simply someone who's passionate about education, this podcast is for you. Superintendents Unplugged is your behind-the-scenes pass to the world of educational leadership, where we uncover the stories that inspire, motivate, and empower every one of us. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and entertained as we embark on this incredible journey together. I can't wait to introduce you to the remarkable superintendents who are changing the educational landscape one district at a time. Welcome to another episode of Superintendents Unplugged, In Depth with Davis. I'm your host, Addison Davis, and today we have a special guest from Oklahoma. We have Bart Banfield from Epic Charter Schools. Thanks for being here, Bart. Live from Seattle, Washington at Power Schools Edge 2024. Thank you for being here.
It's great to be here with you, Addison. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So, all right, blown away. Largest school in Oklahoma, Epic Charter Schools. Let's talk about it, man. It's hard enough to do anything virtually. But you serve over 30,000 students every single day virtually through the entire state, not in a county or a district, but throughout the entire state. How does that work?
Well, so our motto at Epic is school can be different.
Yeah.
And so Epic was founded just a little over 10 years ago. And it was actually founded by two entrepreneurs.
Sure.
So they weren't educators by trade, but they founded this school on the concept that school can be different. And so what they did was they pulled pieces from all these different virtual schools throughout the United States, Florida Virtual School, and some in K-12,
sure,
operating in California, and they sort of just coalesced it into this mission. To create something that's just radically different from your traditional brick and mortar experience, and what came out of it is Epic Charter Schools. And so we're serving, as you said, over 30,000 students in all 77 counties.
That's crazy.
And so we have over 1,000 certified teachers, and
wow,
really trying to do some really good work in the state of Oklahoma.
So 1,000 teachers. I bet you have a waiting list of individuals that want to be a part of this.
What's interesting, I'm actually going to talk about that today at the AI presentation with Shivani, is coming out of the pandemic.
Sure.
One of the areas we needed to improve upon, I'm not proud of this, but our retention rate was over 30%. Like we lost 1 out of 3 staff members that were with us during the pandemic. And so that was obviously a need for us to focus time and energy on. And so we've been working and we've sort of laid out what we call the 3 A's, which are a focus on automation, artificial intelligence, and analytics. And what that's allowed us to do is to sort of simplify and streamline for our staff their jobs, and made it very, very simple.
Love that.
So because of that, we have sort of whittled that retention rate, which was, like I said, over 30%. This past year we were at 6.9%.
Wow.
to your point,
wow,
we're not only retaining staff, but from January 1 to today, we've had over 7,000 applications to work at Epic Charter Schools. So we're attracting new talent to our model as well.
You know, that just talks about the culture in which you've created. And listen, they started 10 years. You've been there since day one, it sounds like. Rocking and rolling, being a part of something special, growing it, being able to get to a point where you have individuals that want to be a part of the systems and the processes in which you created, right? And to be able to serve children in the same token. And you talked about, analytics, you talked about AI, and here in Power School Edge 2024, this is the place where they live. Power School is the leading, I would say, solution that has jumped in front of AI. They're leading solution that has jumped in front with analytics and being able to triangulate multiple elements. How does that work in your infrastructure every day?
Yeah, so Power School for us is the heartbeat of our organization. So that student information system, everything flows from that. And so, you look at Power School, and it's such a successful company, a 70% market share throughout North America. So 7 out of 10 schools in the United States and
have some type of engagement with Power School.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they have a worldwide footprint. And so this is not their first rodeo. That's what we're saying.
That's right.
They've been around for a while. And so partnering with Power School has been a blessing to Epic Charter Schools, and we sort of hang our hat on trying to be on the bleeding edge and an innovative school district. And so that partnership has really been seamless for us. All the suite of products that they offer have really allowed us to sort of level up. And so we're very proud of our partnership with Power School.
In analytics, we talk about how analytics kind of help us in so many ways. How have you leveraged it at Epic Charter Schools?
Well, you were a superintendent, so you understand ROI, right? So,
every day.
In this seat that we've been in, we have to look at the return on investment. And so the best way to do that is through those analytics. And so we've been able, over the course of time, to improve our analysis of the investments that we're making. I mean, we're talking about, in the case, hundreds of millions of dollars, in some cases, with some Power School, school districts, you're looking at billions of dollars in investment. These are taxpayer funds. We want to be good stewards with those funds. And so making sure that we have a robust suite of analytics and KPIs to be able to determine, are we getting that return on investment is critical.
Sure. Absolutely. And when you look at it, everybody has so many systems. Everybody, they have isolated analytics they're looking at. I mean, all that has to be under one umbrella, right? And it has to be simpler to understand, simpler to navigate through, and simpler to be able to look at, to be able to identify what's working, what's not, and what we can do differently every single day. And as leaders, that dashboard, that content is only going to be the initiator of what's to come to be able to help build capacity, whether it be learners' capacity, whether it be our capacity as leaders to be able to articulate to our boards, our communities, our parents, what's working well, what's our focus, what our vision may be. And that just leans it to be, a really cool opportunity. Transition here, 23rd through the 26th, we're here in beautiful Seattle, the best time to be. So hats off to Power Schools for picking in this time to be in Seattle. So not wrong with a raincoat, but oftentimes it's here. So talk about, what do you hope to gain for being here the next couple of days with practitioners that are like you, trying, working to be and leading to be innovative, but rolling up their sleeves and putting their shoulder to the wheel to make certain we get the right things done and put the right systems in place to help children?
So the Bible says iron sharpens iron. And so part of the impetus for Epic Charter Schools is not just the fact that we're a partner in this process, but the fact that we get an opportunity to network with other professionals and peers throughout the United States. And so there are schools of similar size, but there's also schools of a different size. And so we really believe that iron sharpens iron. And so just the opportunity to engage, not just with the Power School team, but the opportunity to engage with our peers, to learn new ideas. We really want to try to have a growth mindset at Epic Charter Schools and make sure that we're always sharpening that saw.
Absolutely. The power of collaboration, right? And oftentimes, and I say this respectfully, egos get in the way and we want to just drive and do the work, and we have a playbook, we have a plan we want to follow, but we have to learn, especially in the superintendencies, in your role and my former role, is that can't do this in isolation. No. We need to be able to lean in on other practitioners that have listen, learn, grow from them to be able to help us make informed decisions every single day. And for you even to acknowledge, you're here to grow. It talks about your leadership, and this is why your 30,000 becomes 35,000. Your 35,000 becomes 38,000. And as you grow, Power School grows with you. And it's cool to hear.
Well, I appreciate that. It's a blessing to be here, and you think about that. The world is changing
every day,
and so technology is changing
sure.
every day. And so, today's solutions will not necessarily solve tomorrow's problems. And so, you look at just at this conference alone, Power Buddy, and the implementation and how Power School is going to all in on AI, and how that's going to radically transform
sure.
public education throughout the United States, particularly with Power School's footprint. And so, I'm incredibly excited about that, and it just shows Power School's commitment to continuing to push the envelope and disrupt the status quo.
That's awesome. And as we see, when you look at the top 100 school districts in the nation in the last year, probably 25 to 27% have new superintendents. That role is transitioning over and over again, and it's hard, and it's happening across this nation. Any takeaways or any advice you would give those individuals that want to transition to the superintendent role, but those who are starting this new role, because it's a fascinating role. You get a chance to have major impact. Any advice you'd give those who aspire to be superintendents or brand new superintendents in the job?
Well, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'll go ahead.
No, say it, man. That's fine. I'm so sorry to ask.
Being a superintendent,
trying to help everybody out there.
Being a superintendent is the equivalent to being a coach or a preacher. The roadway is typically a 3 to 5 year gig, particularly in large urban areas.
You know it.
Yeah, and so I would just say to those that are aspiring to that, be authentic to yourself. Know yourself to lead yourself.
Love that.
Align yourself with like-minded partners, such as Power School, that are moving in the same direction that you are. And I think as long as you're true to yourself, and that you hire the most talented people that you possibly can, you equip them and empower them with technology and tools that liberate learning, I think that you can hang your hat on that regardless of how long you stay.
That's right. And listen, this job isn't easy, but the more that you recognize it and have that self-awareness, the more that you focus on hiring first-round draft picks and hire smarter people than us every single day around us to be problem solvers, the better we'll become. And I think the more that we actively engage all of our stakeholders for transparency, and I love the fact you talked about be your authentic self. And as I train across the nation, I always tell individuals that leadership is a choice, and we want to become the best version of ourselves. And the way, our legacy will be the life in which we lead and live, and that will tell everything about who we are and what we do. So, Epic, what's anything big vision horizon coming up in the next couple of years?
I'll tell you, one program that we just started this past year that has been a game changer, and I think it could be a template or a blueprint for other states to follow, is our Pathways program.
Okay, what you got?
So we started out of necessity. We started a new school model. We had, at the end of the war in Afghanistan, we had a surge of refugees from Afghanistan that landed in Oklahoma.
Wow.
We partnered with a variety of nonprofits and charitable organizations to create a program called Pathways. And one of the things that we heard from these folks is that obviously when they left, the Taliban took over. They couldn't get any of their clothes. They couldn't get any of their papers. They couldn't get anything. But now they've landed in the United States, and they wanted to get an education.
Wow.
So we created a program to serve students that are 21 to 25. So these are traditional students that are aged out.
Out of cohorts.
And for the last couple of years in Oklahoma, we've served them for free.
Wow.
And so we successfully, though, this past spring, lobbied both the House and the Senate in Oklahoma to pass Senate Bill 1307, which will provide state funding to serve all students 21 to 25 that have aged out of the traditional system, giving them a second chance to get a high school diploma and prepare for college and career readiness. And so it's something, so it's something that we're going into year 3, and so we're not just serving refugees anymore, we're serving anybody that has dropped out for whatever reason, and we're meeting them right where they're at, helping them to get across the finish line. And I think that has tremendous potential for the state of Oklahoma, but I think it could be a blueprint for other states to follow to give those young adults a second chance.
I love that, and I'm so glad that we didn't stop on that other side of it when we came to this, because you know, it takes courageous leaders and thought partners to go out and identify policy, identify funding, and create a vision, because so many things happen that are traumatic experiences in individuals' life that may derail them from finishing their education or being discouraged about interactions at school, or you know, not just have the confidence, or individuals are in their circle that promotes the importance of education, or we have individuals that are having 2 jobs to raise to help take care of their siblings and they can't do it. But for you to go back, have partnerships in this process, and for Oklahoma to take a stance to say, you know what, we care, because ultimately it's only going to elevate the community in so many different aspects. You know, greater opportunity for jobs, greater opportunity to break generational poverty, greater opportunity to stand up and earn a livable wage that has comfortability in it. So kudos to you. And, you know, as I go around, I will definitely look into that and share that. And that's really cool. Well, you know what, Bart, thank you for being here today. It sounds like, you know, you are growing and rocking every single day. And, you know, congrats to you of drilling down on that retention rate, but also just giving children a choice. And I think that as parents and as educators, regardless if it's virtual, in-face, or if it's blended model, parents and children ought to have choice. Absolutely. And in those spaces, that choice will be able to blend to their desires and their passions, and openly their unique needs. It sounds like you're doing some really special things. So thank you for being here. As you've heard it, what's going on in Oklahoma, not only being able to serve over 30,000 students virtually, but being able to create systems, processes for analytics, being able to leverage great tools and partners such as PowerSchool, but also giving individuals, young adults, a second opportunity through their Pathway Project. You've heard it from Bart Banfield at Epic Charter Schools in Oklahoma. Until next time, look forward to seeing you. I'm Addison Davis. See you next time.